The member for Spence.
Thank you, Acting Deputy Speaker. I'd like to speak on something that has been a big part of the week, not just for myself but for many members across both chambers and across the political divide. I think it's important, before embarking on another sitting week, to contemplate and celebrate one thing that has certainly united this building. I am, of course, referring to the Australian Defence Force Parliamentary Program. I started my journey with this program earlier this year, back in April, where I had the good fortune to spend 3 nights on a submarine, the HMAS Rankin, along with the member for Flinders. As a parliamentarian, my definition of close quarters was being forced to share the backseat of a Suzuki Swift with my good friend, the member for Hunter. The ADF parliamentary program is not just about politicians embedding with the ADF. It is a reciprocal program that affords ADF personnel the opportunity to spend a week with us in Parliament. I had the absolute privilege to host Major Cameron Elston in my office for the week and would like to tell you a bit about what I learned from him over the course of the week. Major Elston started with his army career at Duntroon at the age of 17. The past 20 years of that career he has spent serving our nation, which includes international deployments in both Afghanistan and the Solomon Islands. Major Elston, like many other ADF members, were deployed to provide logistical, planning capability and operational support to state emergency services battling bushfires throughout the country. Almost immediately afterwards, Major Elston was immediately redeployed to Christmas Island to set up Australia's first COVID quarantine facility, which allowed the government to evacuate citizens from Wuhan, China, whilst protecting the Australian mainland. Major Elston's most recent deployment is one that I find particularly interesting, namely Casey Station in Antarctica. He was deployed there at short notice in order to resupply the station. It was a deployment which took Major Elston away from his family over Christmas and the New Year period. He assures me that this deployment was the most fulfilling opportunity of his career. However, when you're so far away from the North Pole on Christmas, those at Casey Station could at least count on Major Elston to ride in on his sleigh and work on the logistics necessary to ensure the station has adequate supplies to persevere through punishing conditions. I want all members to understand that the ADF parliamentary program is an opportunity, one that I hope those participating use wisely. And those yet to participate, I would hope this would encourage you to put some thought into doing so in one of a vast number of opportunities that the program provides us with the ability to participate in over the coming months. The real opportunity this program provides us is that of insight, an insight into our Defence Force members and a chance to understand their unique skill sets they offer. It is these unique skills and capabilities that our government and our nation will continue to rely upon in the future. Near the end of this sitting week, I asked Cameron if he could kindly share his experiences in the ADF and the sitting week that is now almost over. With this chamber, so, in most part, these are his words. Words that would give my regular speechwriter a run for his money. Major Elston says that he will look back on his time participating in the ADF parliamentary program as a career highlight, as having the opportunity to immerse himself in the day-to-day running of Parliament has provided him with unique insights into how policies are introduced, debated and how decision-makers operate within the very heart of our democracy in Australia. Major Elston was pleasantly surprised to see that members on all sides of the aisle come together on a range of issues, much more than what is portrayed in the media. He was particularly reassured to see this, particularly when members are discussing defence matters, where the adversarial is replaced with bipartisanship. Major Elston found it refreshing to see all sides of politics work collaboratively and respectfully, though he contends there is still much room for improvement in the area. And I can't exactly disagree with Cameron on that point either. Major Elston took particular note of an industry breakfast briefing where he saw parliamentarians, industry employer groups and unions working together collaboratively to achieve better outcomes for Australians. But I truly have to thank Major Elston for sharing his lived experiences and perspectives with me, along with his fellow ADF members across this Parliament week. I'd also like to give a very honourable mention to Lieutenant Colonel Andy Martin, who facilitates this program. I look forward to being a part of many more exchanges in the not-too-distant future. Major Elston, Cameron, you truly are a credit to the ADF, the uniform you wear and the nation you proudly serve. Thank you for your service.